would you describe the way the members of your senior leadership team interact with one another?
You know, we had a code of conduct that we put together early on that hasn't been, put on the wall very frequently, but it still becomes the rules of the road. We refer to it as the 5 C's. The first one's candor.
Yes.
In the room, we're going to be very candid with each other, and we're going to state what's on our mind. And there's no such thing as the unspoken, and I'll come back to that one. That one's a cornerstone. We share all the data we have and all the perspectives we have, and we try not to attack other people, but to talk about problems that we have, right?
Yes.
So we try to keep it, but it's very candid. The second one is collaboration. We really do try to collaborate and really to try to figure out what's the best solution together. And I make it a point to tell people who are just joining the company or the executive team that when you come into that boardroom, you leave your business card at the door. I want your subject matter expertise, but I don't want your biases. So you're going to come in here before our executive team. The third one is commitment. That we're going to make a decision. When we walk out of that room, that commitment is shared among all of us, and there's no air gaps from the viewpoint of the employee population. We're all on the same page. The fourth is communication. We don't meet that often. We probably meet regularly once a month.
Really?
But we have constant communications through email and other vehicles to make sure everybody's apprised of progress and problems and opportunities, et cetera, along the way. And it's probably the most popular mailing list is there's a distribution list called DLXX staff. I mean, it's only about 12 people, but there's a lot of flow. And the last one is community, in the sense that we're all in this together. I don't mean external community. I mean, we are a community unto ourselves, and we together are going to be successful or not. And that even shows in things like incentive payouts for the bonus plan. There is no performance differentiation among members of the executive team.
Oh, really?
None. If we get a 70% bonus for the year, we didn't get the 100% point, then we're all getting 70. If we got 130% because we overachieved, we're all getting 130. There's no sense that somebody did a better job than anybody else. We're either going to win it together or we're going to lose it together.
I mean, how do you think this code of conduct affects the company's performance?
I think the code of conduct and the cohesiveness of the executive team is a really important factor in our success. We now are 8,000 people in 135 countries or something like that. How do you effectively provide the same kind of culture, strategy, direction, understanding of our objectives, et cetera? We all speak about it through a little different lens because we're all different people with different experiences. But for years, the thing we heard back from customers and employees was how remarkably consistent and aligned the leadership of the company was when they talked about what it is we're trying to do. What were our bigger goals, what were our immediate goals, and it was just remarkably consistent. I think that we may have deviated from that a little bit because we now have more product lines and business units. It's not as integrated, if you will. But people tell us today that they can talk to any one of the senior executives and ask them a set of questions, and they'll get remarkable alignment among the answers. I refer to it as the Baskin-Robbins model, right? We're all selling ice cream. We may have a slightly different flavor, but it's all basically the same stuff. And I think people see that as a unique characteristic. But when you're pulling together 8,000 people, that's very important. There's no ambiguity about where we're trying to go and what we're trying to do.
Well, that sense of community clearly has paid off, that you're all on the same ship together. And
yeah, I think the sense of community has been unique. It actually is it's both a strength and a weakness. I'll use the example of Ed Deanahan. Ed came in from EDS, and he's a very capable executive, a very smart guy, and very committed to the company. He could not figure out how to break into the community. He just wasn't used to that kind of model at EDS, and it took him a while to figure out exactly what this is all about. It's a little bit of a different style, I think, than many companies have, and so it became a bit of a transition challenge for Ed to figure out how to become part of the community. He got it. He's been here now 7, 8 years or 9 years. But the point is, for the first year or two, this was unusual, and unnatural almost. You guys don't fight with each other. Well, actually, we do, but we debate. We don't really fight.
You don't fight.
We share views, and he found it to be unique coming out of EDS.
Well, one of the things you said is you could get that community by all being very much alike, but you're saying even though you're very different.
I think we're incredibly diverse.
Yes.
In fact, you would find, if you look at the people have often referred to as the four horsemen of NetApp, right? The myself, Tom Mendoza, Dave Hitz, James Lau. You won't find more diverse personalities than the four of us. And yet you put us all in a room, and while we'll have some very spirited debates, we tend to converge very quickly to what we think are the key things that we should go do. Mm-hmm. Either opportunities we should pursue, or problems we should solve, or actions we should take. And we all come at it from a very different, not only personality view, thinking style, but also background.
Yes.
Right? Two are engineers, right?
Yes.
Tom's the ultimate
salesperson,
guy,
yes.
You know? And yet, I think that this adds more perspectives to the question. Doesn't lead to differences, it leads actually to convergence more quickly.